15. Plane of Fantasy, Nagaloka. Nagaloka was supposed to be the underworld. As there are 7 lokos above, so are there 7 below. Lokos below are situated underwater. The ruler of each underworld is a different kind of being. One of these 7 is fatal. The rulers of one region are serpents, nagas. In mythology, these nagas are supposed to be semi-divine beings with a human face and the tail of a dragon. Nagas also exist as a sect of initiate hermits who are masters of great wisdom. Nothing is hidden or could be hidden from them. Thus Nagaloka is the plane of fantasy. It is not above the physical plane but below, submerged underwater in accordance with the nature of fantasy. The player who lands here enters fully into the realm of the fantastic. Here his imagination soars wholly beyond the physical plane and into the infinite potentialities of human existence. He sees no limits on his nature. There is nothing he cannot do. He pours his energies into exploring his fantasies, emerging with works of art and new ideas and inventions. He explores the world his senses present to him, seeking ever more stimulation for his imagination. He uses his sensory input to create new combinations never before experienced. Here is the plane of speculation, of what if. No restraints are placed on the bounds of the imagination. Nothing is too fantastic or bizarre to be considered. In entertainment, the player became aware of possibilities. On the plane of fantasy, he is immersed in them. Many of the finest works of art have come from this surrender to the unrestrained imagination. But if the imagination is allowed to soar too high and too long, the player loses contact with the reality of his everyday life, and the snake of jealousy lurks just ahead, to catch him if he becomes too caught up in the fantastic to see what lies before him. In Sanskrit, naga means snake. Thus the plane of fantasy is also the snake plane. The snake is synonymous with energy. The kundalini, which the yogi seeks to raise through his efforts, is often called the serpent power. The devil often appears in the guise of a snake. The snake is the embodiment of movement and the animal that best represents the nature of the player vibrating in the second chakra. It implies flexibility and the protean ability to change form. As the snake seeks shelter in the hollows of the earth, so does the player who lands in the second chakra.